Understanding what you hear. What do we need to be able to do to understand the language that comes to us through our ears, the language we hear? It's a complex task and one we don't really think about too much. After all, understanding what is said is an ability that seems to materialize even in babies. They grow up, they learn to understand what we say without a lot of overt teaching on our part. To help us understand this, let us present a constructive analogy. In the picture, you see a brick house, perhaps like a lot of other brick houses you may have admired without necessarily considering how it was constructed. For this analogy, we're going to think about that. So, for our first question, we're going to ask, what do you need to build a fine brick house? Bricks. You need a lot of bricks. Language has bricks too. They're called vocabulary. Vocabulary are the building bricks of language. Vocabulary makes up much of the content of language. It represents the myriad of people, places, things, attributes, and actions we talk about. For us to understand the language we hear, we must be able to extract the meaning from the vocabulary we hear. Requirement number 1, we need to understand and extract meaning from the vocabulary. What would happen if you built the house with nothing but bricks? What would happen at the first strong storm or when a branch fell up against it? Of course, you already know the answer. It would collapse. Bricks need something to hold them firmly together. Bricks need mortar. Without mortar, bricks will crumble and fall. Well, language has mortar too. It's called grammar. In the speech therapy world, grammar is also referred to as grammatical morphology or inflections. It's all the little word endings and small bits of words that we put before and after the vocabulary words to string them and hold them together. Adding grammar or inflections changes the meaning of the vocabulary word. Let's look at an example using the word jump. We can say jumping, jumped, jumps, is jumping, was jumping, a jump, the jump. All of these little bits of grammar change the meaning slightly of the vocabulary word. So, requirement number 2, we need to understand and extract meaning from grammar. Well, we have bricks and mortar, and we can probably build a structure that won't fall down and it may keep us dry, but no one would call that a fine brick house. How do we go from bricks and mortar to a fine house with plumb walls, symmetrical dormers, and all the details that come together to make it nice? In a word, you need a blueprint. Language has a blueprint too. It's called syntax. Syntax is the order in which we put the vocabulary and the grammar. We have learned that meaning is relayed by vocabulary and that meaning is relayed by grammar. Syntax relays meaning too. Look at the following 2 sentences. The boy was pushed by the girl was pushed by the boy. Now let's underline the vocabulary and circle all the grammar in each sentence. What we notice is that each sentence contains the exact same vocabulary and the exact same parts of grammar. The only difference is that sentence A follows a different syntactic blueprint than sentence B, and it makes the sentences mean different things. Vocabulary relays meaning, grammar relays meaning, and syntax relays meaning. So, requirement number 3, we need to understand and extract meaning from syntax. So, in order to understand what we hear, we must be able to extract meaning from vocabulary, grammar, and syntax. What does this mean for our late talker?